Nothing says summer quite like fast cars, sharp turns, burning rubber, and full tilt chaos on asphalt. Trust me when I say you're definitely going to want to buckle up for this one. Start your engines because the F1 review is speeding your way right now. What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the latest edition of the Porter Report. My name is BJ Porter, and I hope everybody is having an amazing day today. For all of my returning viewers, it is wonderful to see you all again, and for all my first timers out there, welcome, and we hope you enjoy everything that this video and channel has to offer. We are just about ready to transition out of month 2 of this year's summer movie season. But before that, I have a brand new Porter Report movie review to deliver to you all. This segment allows me to express my thoughts and opinions about the movies that I see and enjoy, and those of you do as well. When we talk about what makes a great summer movie, the definition is different depending on who you ask. For me, it's a movie that invokes a feeling in you, elevated by top tier level immersion on screen. And the movie we're going to talk about today, I believe, is the best representation of just that. Today I'm giving you guys the official review for F1, directed by Joseph Kosinski, and starring Brad Pitt, Damson Idris, Kerry Condon, and Javier Bardem. I gotta tell you guys, out of all the sports that I thought would be growing in mass appeal, Formula One racing was one I was not expecting to be at the top of the list. But lo and behold, the sport continues to gain global attention and new fans every day, making it one of the world's most popular sports leagues. In fact, it's gotten so big that even Mickey is joining in on the madness. When the mouse gets involved, you know it's legit. Speaking on the film, it can be easy to pass this off as a glorified advertisement for the sport for those looking at it from a surface level. However, the talent in front of the camera and behind the camera tells me otherwise. F1 has a cast loaded with talent from top to bottom, in addition to Kosinski at the helm as director. And for those who saw his work on 2022's Top Gun Maverick, you already know that the level of authenticity and realism when it comes to the races is going to be at an all-time high, in addition to delivering a compelling and engaging narrative. So how about we put the pedal to the metal and drive into all the details? Here's the Porter Report movie review for F1. Endurance, grit, precision, timing, and stamina. This is the DNA of every man or woman who gets behind the wheel of the roaring beast within Formula One. Few people have thrived within the sport more than the legendary Maverick, Sonny Hayes. Once seen as one of the most dominant drivers the sport has ever witnessed, circumstances beyond his control forced him to hang up the helmet. Having been out of the game for a number of decades, Hayes gets a call from an old friend offering a shot at redemption. Offered the chance to get behind the wheel and reclaim what he's lost, Hayes reluctantly joins a struggling F1 team, aiming to get back to championship status. Unfortunately, his team has a pretty crowded field, thanks to the arrival of hotshot rookie and fellow driver Joshua Pierce, who's made it clear he's not going to give up his shot at glory to a relic of the past without a fight. Between clashing egos, high stakes, and the risk of losing more than just a race, Hayes and Pierce must put aside their differences and speed their team to championship glory. Fast-paced tension and bone-chilling ferocity await in what is being billed as one of the summer's most adrenaline-filled thrill rides. Top Gun Maverick director Joseph Kosinski brings his authentic deep-in-the-trenches style to a cinematic experience that takes audiences into the world of one of the fastest-growing sports on the planet. After getting behind the wheel and feeling the full force of the speed demon of a flick, F1 showcases what the cinematic lens can do when it comes to full-on immersion. Authentically capturing the true nature of any sport on camera is a tall task from the jump. So much goes on in the trenches that many don't see. It takes an understanding of the sport, respect for the people who are a part of it, and a keen eye for the minutia to put the best depiction out front. Thankfully, director Joseph Kosinski has all of that working in his favor throughout the film's duration. Much like his work on Top Gun Maverick, he makes it his mission to create not just a film, but an experience that captures the moment-to-moment danger and tension of the athletes who put their lives on the line on the asphalt, and the pit crews dedicated to making sure they're kept safe. When talking about the film and its authenticity to what actually happens in the sport, the drivers are at the heart of it all. That is a perfect transition to our two leading men, starting with Sonny Hayes himself, Brad Pitt. Never one to not exude charisma and swagger, Pitt's Hayes is the stereotypical Maverick who doesn't play by the rules but always finds a way to win you over with his wit, grit, and irresistible charm. You would think that this archetype would be tired and played out in modern filmmaking. but Pitt adds layers to this character that make you root for him and just appreciate the love that he has for the art of racing. Pitt continues to showcase why he is still one of the top dogs in the industry. His teammate is equally enjoyable, with his performance as well. Down some Idris's Joshua Pierce comes in as the arrogant, wet behind the ears hotshot who is distracted by all the glitz, glamour, and future star status he hasn't earned yet. The old school versus new school dynamic that he shares with Pitts' Hayes allows for the two of them to have this fun dynamic that has them butting heads in the beginning, but grows into a friendship where they bring the best out of each other. The arc that Pierce goes on is one of understanding that the team is the real difference between champions and those just coasting along. Idris does a great job of showing Pierce becoming a well-rounded character by film's end, thus making him a character worth cheering for. The other members of the cast, including Carrie Condon and Javier Bardem, are also great. Condon presents herself as the underdog of the film with something to prove, and really holds her own as she stands toe-to-toe with her co-stars. Not to be outdone, Javier Bardem delivers a great performance as team manager Ruben. He is a character who knows his back is against the wall, but is never willing to compromise the safety of the ones he cares about, specifically Sonny. It actually makes him less of a corporate face, and more of an underdog like the rest of the team that you want to see succeed. Performances aside, while the movie can be looked at as a lengthy advertisement for the F1 brand, there is some genuine effort to add life to the story being told. The film itself is pretty basic and by the numbers on the surface from a narrative standpoint. For some, that is a sin because it can be seen as just putting dialogue scenes in as placeholders while we wait for the next driving sequence. However, the character work done by the ensemble adds some life to the world, helping you get invested in the team and the journey they go on. Idris and Pitt do a good amount of the heavy lifting, but the background players also have moments that will have you pumping your fists at their victories just as hard. Bottom line, the characters on screen do enough to keep things from getting stale in between races. But make no mistake, if you're here for the on-track action, F1 is an absolute treat. Every racing sequence is a deliciously delectable buffet of visual and auditory sensory stimulation. The roar of the engines, the radio chatter, the tire screeching, the bumps, the crashes, and the claustrophobic tension of being in the cockpit of a four-wheeled beast culminates in a beautiful marriage of drama and high stakes. This, combined with the in-your-face cinematography and composer Hans Zimmer's bone-rattling score, makes every racing scene a ride you never want to get off of. You truly feel the weight of every turn and every moment that leads to either victory or defeat. This is about as close as you can get to F1 action, and Kaczynski and company do a great job of capturing the authentic feel of the sport. But to be honest, it shouldn't really be a surprise that the film hangs its hat on authenticity. Kaczynski always makes an effort to make everything feel as real as possible. That type of commitment to capturing the true essence of Formula One sets a new standard for anyone looking to follow up with another story set in the world of this sport. Directors who have this type of passion for this level of storytelling do wonders not just for the art of filmmaking, but for the sport they are displaying on screen. All in all, F1 is a fast-paced ride with a simplistic approach to its story, but an above and beyond approach to capturing the realness of the logistics behind this particular brand of racing. Its leading men and talented ensemble add life to the characters and in turn make every moment on the track feel like a desperate race to keep hope alive, 1 mile at a time. Many try to capture the feeling of being behind the wheel, but films like this do so much more when it comes to truly putting you in the driver's seat. Getting somebody motivated to take interest in a sport they're unfamiliar with is never an easy task. It takes a special type of persuasion to convince someone to invest time in a particular practice. But if you got the right team, the task becomes a lot easier. F1 is the perfect example of capturing everything that makes this sport such a thrill to watch. Needless to say, there's a reason why this is becoming one of the fastest growing sports leagues. The amount of precision and collaboration needed to not just ensure victory, but also safety and survival is not something to take lightly. It's great to know that Kaczynski and company were able to capture that in the most authentic way. Movies like this can show what a filmmaker with vision and an eye for detail can do for the medium they're trying to showcase. That mission is never really a hard one. All you need is the right crew. With that, the time has come to throw it to you guys. Sound off in the comments below your thoughts about F1, but be mindful of anything that could potentially be seen as a spoiler. If you are able to see this in IMAX or any other premium large format, don't miss your chance to do so. Find a way to see this on the biggest screen possible. I promise you, you will not regret it. Make sure to keep it locked to the channel for more reviews and continued coverage of summer movie season 2025 and beyond. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend to stop on by. I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of their day, and until the next review, I'm BJ Porter, and this has been The Porter Report.